Hey guys, so welcome to chapter 2 of math. This lesson is on ratios. And the first thing you need to know or remember about ratios is that they are a comparison between two kinds of things. So for example, if you're comparing the amount of boys in the classroom compared to the girls, and just say there were 12 boys and there were 13 girls, we would write it like this. You'd write 12 and you write the colon there, and then 13, because you're comparing 12 to 13. It's 12 boys to 13 girls. Again, if we had 7 apples and 20 oranges, you would write it like this, 7 to 20. Now sometimes we use ratios and we use them in terms of equivalent ratios. So if you remember from previous years, equivalent fractions are just fractions that are made to be equal. So for example, if you had a pizza here, so what I'm showing you is that I ate how much of the pizza? I ate half. Well, what if I cut the pizza again into 4 quarters? Well, now I've also had 2/4 or 2 quarters of the pizza. So it didn't change how much I ate, I just changed the amount of sections that I cut the pizza into. If I further cut the pizza, now the pizza is in 6 full slices and I've eaten 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. So I've eaten 3/6 of the pizza. So 1/2, 2/4, and 3/6, they're all the same. Right? I haven't changed the amount that I've eaten of the pizza. I've just changed the amount of slices I've cut into. And ratios and equivalent ratios work the same way. So just say there was a hockey tournament and we were to say that the participation in this tournament of males to females was 3-to-1. So this stands for the males, and this stands for the females. Well, it doesn't actually mean that there were only 3 boys and just 1 girl. Basically, this is an equivalent ratio, so it's just used on a smaller scale to represent the full amount of participation that there really was. So for example, what if I said that there were actually 24 males? So this 3 represents the 24. Well, we have to find out what does this 1 represent then. So 3-to-1 again is just another way of stating the ratio. It's just like the pizza example that I showed you. I ate half the pizza, but I also ate 2/4 of the pizza. I also ate 3/6 of the pizza. So this is basically the ratio reduced to a smaller form. So basically we have to find out, okay, if 3-to-1 is equal to 24 to what? We have to say, what did we do to 3 to get to 24 in terms of multiplication or division? Well, I multiplied by 8 to get to 24. So then I would do the same thing to this ratio. I would multiply 1 by 8 to get 8. So 3-to-1 here is also equivalent to 24 to 8. So I'm just going to review that again. An equivalent ratio is 2 or more ratios that represent the same comparison. So for example, if we had 1 to 3, well, that's also equivalent to 2 to 6. Because all we did to 1 to 3 is you multiplied the 1 times 2, and you've also multiplied the 3 times 2. So this 1 to 3 and this 2 to 6, they are equivalent. They are the same. Because what you did was you took that 1 ratio and you multiplied each of the numbers in the ratio by the same number. So to create an equivalent ratio, I could basically take any ratio, 4 to 6, and I could pick anything to multiply by. So let's pick 5. I'm going to multiply 4 by 5 equals 20, and 6 times 5 equals 30. So that's an equivalent ratio, because I've taken that ratio there, I've multiplied both numbers by the same number. I multiplied 4 by 5 and 6 by 5, and that's my other ratio there. So 4 to 6 is also equivalent to 20 to 30. Other terms that you're going to see in this lesson are something called let me just get a different color up here, a scale factor. A scale factor is what you multiply the ratio by. So in this case, we multiplied 4 by 5 and we multiplied 6 by 5. So this multiplication here, that's called the scale factor. And you would basically just say the scale factor is multiply by 5. Let's do another example. 1 to 3 is also equal to 4 to 12. And what I've done here is, because I have this equal sign here, this is called proportion. When you're comparing one ratio to the other, that's called a proportion. And basically all I did is I took 1, and you have to say, okay, what did I multiply 1 by to get 4? I multiplied it by 4. What did I multiply 3 by to get 12? I multiplied by 4. This is your scale factor, and the scale factor is always the same number. It's not like one is multiplied by 4 and the other multiplied by 3. So that's the scale factor. Okay, other example, 27 over 45 is equal to blank, oops, I should go blank, over 5. Let's kind of fix that there. So now we are moving from a bigger ratio to a smaller ratio. So you have to think, if we're moving from a big number to a small number, are we going to be multiplying or are we going to be dividing? Because multiplying means just that. When you multiply something, you're making it bigger, you're increasing it. So if we're going from a big number to a small number, we're going to be dividing. So we have to figure out, what are we going to be dividing by? So we have to ask ourselves, how do we move from, how do we move from 45 to 5? What do we have to do to 45 to get to 5? Well, we divide by 9. And if we're dividing the bottom by 9, we're going to divide the top by 9. 27 divided by 9 is 3. So, looking at this whole thing here, we have our ratio. Because we have the equal sign in here, we're comparing one ratio to the other. That's a proportion. Lots of different things happening. And because we have what we are doing to move from one ratio to the other, that's our scale factor. Okay, so just say we have so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the ratio 21 over 56, or you can think about it like this, 21 to 56, or you can even say 21 to 56, and I want you to give me 3 equivalent ratios. For 21 to 56. Again, you can multiply those two numbers by any number as long as you multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. Or you can divide. You can divide the top number of the ratio and the bottom number by the same number. Okay? So you can either multiply or divide, get equivalent ratios. If you are saying, what, I do not get it at all, then watch the video again, watch it 1,000 times if you need to. And good luck with the homework. If you feel comfortable, please try to submit on Google Classroom. You know, just see if you can play around with it and see if you can understand it enough to submit it that way. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.